In today's video, I am going to share with you two of my manifestations that I was asked to do in my last Q&A video, and I promised I would make a separate video for my manifestations. If you haven't checked out my last Q&A video, I highly recommend you do that. I will link that in the description box below. I answer a lot of questions in that video that interest a lot of people. So about manifesting SP in third-party situations, how to deal with the 3D timing, and a lot of other things. So make sure to check that out. And in this video, instead, I'm going to share with you specifically two manifestations. And the reason I am sharing these two manifestations is because I manifested them using two different techniques, and they happened in the weirdest way possible. So I am going to tell you what happened, how I manifested, so what techniques I used, and how it manifested. And the reason I do this is, first of all, to show you that different faculties of your mind can manifest, so you can use different techniques to manifest. I have a whole separate video on techniques. It's in my playlist, manifestation techniques. I am going to link that in the description below too. So that's that. And also, something that is very important with manifestation just in general is to not focus on the how, which a lot of people do. And it holds you back. A lot of time it holds you back and it limits your imagination, because just because you in your human form with your current knowledge and information can see how something can happen, it doesn't mean it can't happen, and that creates a lot of problems for people. And these two manifestations are going to show you that even though you can't possibly figure out how it could happen, it will happen. Manifestations come to you in the 3D, sometimes in a very natural way, so it looks like it would have happened anyway, but we know that it wouldn't have if you hadn't manifested it. But other times it can come in ways that you couldn't possibly have imagined. So these two manifestations I'm about to talk to you about, I still till this day don't understand how it happened, and in a moment you will see why. Before I start talking about manifestations, my manifestations, welcome to my channel. My name is Anna and I'm a manifestation coach. On this channel I teach the law of assumption as taught by Neville Goddard. So if that is what you are looking for, you are in the right place. Subscribe and stay for more. And let's dive in. I'm going to talk about the first manifestation and the second after that. So years ago, I think it might have been about 6 years ago, I was visiting some people I knew back then. I was staying at their place, and we had, I think that day, we had visited someone else, which we weren't going back to for the period that I was staying there. And so the morning after, we had gone and visited some other people, etc. The morning after, I realized that I have lost my finger ring, which I had on consistently. It wasn't coming off my hand, it was constantly on my hand, and it was gone. And I could vaguely remember that probably the night before I had left it by the sink. I had washed my face, and I guessed that I have probably taken it off and put it there. No one in the house had seen it. I tried to find in my bags and in my stuff. It was nowhere to be found. It was a big messy house, and I literally thought I'm never going to find this ring by looking for it. So the one thing I knew of, and I still know of, to get a result is by conscious manifestation. So here comes what I did. My ring was lost, and I started affirming. I have already found my ring. And every single time during the day that I remembered of the ring, and especially that I remembered I have lost it, I immediately started affirming, I have already found my ring. I have already found my ring. I have already found my ring. And that was it. This to show you how simple it actually can be. And this was all I did. Every single time the topic comes to mind, good, bad, whatever, I remembered I had the ring, the existence of the ring, the fact that I had lost it, it doesn't matter. It was about the ring, I remembered it. So immediately I thought to myself, I have already found the ring. I have already found the ring. 2 or 3 days passed and I had to go somewhere while I was there. So I had to take the bus. The bus stop where I had to take the bus was about 150 meters from the house across the street. So I had to cross the street, walk for about 150 meters, and there I was waiting for the bus. I was just standing there waiting. There was no one really. At some point, a woman walks past me, bends over, picks something up from the ground, and turns to me and says, I'm sorry, is this yours? You guessed it. It was my ring. I said, oh my God, yes, it's mine. Thank you. And I don't know what face I might have made because she went, are you sure this is yours? I said, yes, yes, give it to me. It's my ring. Now, if you're thinking that it could have been someone else's ring, a similar ring, etc., let me tell you that it could not have been, because this ring was made by a jeweler on my design in a different country, in a completely different country, far, far away from where I was. I had literally drawn a ring and asked this jeweler to make the ring with these materials and that specific stone, which was an amethyst. And later on, I had asked that same jeweler to resize it. And that place, so it was as unique as it could be. You can still see the place where he has cut and changed the size. Plus, when you heat an amethyst, and they use heat to cut the metal, whether it's gold or silver, and that had heated up the amethyst also. And when you heat the amethyst, it becomes artificially made citrine. So it becomes yellowish. So I had this ring designed by myself, the place of where it was been resized, the stone that had become yellowish, so it couldn't have been someone else's ring or some similar ring. I have absolutely no idea how my ring had appeared on the street 3 days later, and I haven't been there, like I haven't taken the bus the day or the days prior to when I lost the ring. So till this day, I have absolutely no idea how it appeared there. I have no human explanation, but it was there. I have my ring still. And this to show you that just do the work. Literally, just do the work. Don't question yourself. Don't question whether or not it can or can't happen, how on earth it's going to happen. And this is, yes, I lost a ring. I manifested finding a ring. It's the same principles for manifesting an SP, manifesting money, health, etc. It's no different. You do the same things, and your mind and the infinite intelligence work in the same way. So you don't do it differently, and things don't manifest differently. It happens all the same way. So my second manifestation was about different things that I lost and manifested in a different way. So fast forward to maybe 3 years ago, I was in a different place, doing different things. I had a friend I was helping with some work. So I came to his office and we were collecting some documents. And I had to take these documents with me home and do some work on them. Mind you, these weren't my documents. It wasn't my job. I was helping a friend. So the documents that we had collected for about a month or two, he put them all on a USB key and gave it to me. I remember clearly, this one I remember. I took the USB key from his hand and I had my red small little purse. In my other hand, I put it in the purse and that was it. I came home the day after or 2 days after. I was doing laundry and I put this purse into the washing machine to wash with everything else I was washing. And these were the things that I would do automatically. My bags, my purses, I wash these things. So it was not an unusual thing for me to put this purse into the washing machine. I did it all on like autopilot. And as I was putting the things to dry, I remembered that I had put this very important USB key in the purse, and I didn't remember taking it out when I put this in my purse to wash. And I checked where I had emptied the purse. It wasn't there. At this time, I was living in a small apartment, and it was small. I was always keeping it tidy, so nothing really could get lost in the apartment. I checked everywhere. It was nowhere to find. What did I do? I had to manifest it. And so what I did this time was, again, I started out the same way, to be honest. I started out the same way because it's the simplest thing to do, just to affirm that I have found it. I have already found the USB key. I have already found it. By the way, I forgot to mention in the last manifestation, but it's the same here, that I am a very visual person. So when I affirm, I see what I'm affirming. And I know that a lot of people, a lot of you guys probably are doing it the same way, or this happens automatically. You affirm something and you see it. This is why, just a quick tip, I never recommend, unless you can't really affirm it otherwise, I don't recommend to affirm in a negative statement. So I have not lost it. In my mind, I get pictures of losing something. So it's always better to, this is why we say always imagine what you want and not what you don't want. This is the reason, because your mind imagines. Even if you don't clearly see visuals when you are affirming, your mind imagines. Its own way, it imagines. So I kept affirming. Same way. Every single time the topic comes to mind, you affirm that it is already done. Meaning, I have already found the USB key. Mind you, this was a USB key with documents that weren't even mine. So I could not lose it. So a couple of weeks pass. I had to meet with some friends, and we had a smaller event happening that evening, and we were waiting for something to start. And when it was just about to start, maybe there were 2 minutes, 3 minutes left, I sat down, waiting for this thing to start, and what I did, I thought, okay, I have 2 minutes. And my manifestations are done in a very simple way. Just like I told you with these affirmations, I keep my affirmations short and simple. And I do the same thing with my visualizations. So just like if you happen to watch my Q&A video, in that video I talk about another manifestation that I did visualizing, and it was also a very simple, short visual scene or an imaginal act. And the good thing about this is that you can get a lot of repetitions of it in a very short amount of time. So here I had 2 or 3 minutes. I thought, I'm just sitting here doing nothing. Let me just imagine I have found my USB key. So what I did, I closed my eyes. I blocked off everything very quickly. And this happens, the good thing about this is that it happens so, when you don't have a choice and you don't have time, you like, I don't know if it's just me, please let me know if you are also like this. If I need something to happen right away and I don't have time, the concentration comes like magic. So blocked off everything and I started seeing this USB key in my hand and I was just wiping it with a tissue. It was just something I made up just so I had a scene to imagine. And when you are this concentrated, fully concentrated, it freakishly feels real. And this is what Neville Goddard is all about. Do what you need to do in your mind to get to the point where it actually feels real while you are imagining it. So I kept persisting in this scene, like just repeating it over and over. I had a white tissue and I was just wiping this USB key. And again, when you are fully focused, the senses that you use become so clear and vivid. And this is also something that Neville Goddard talks about a lot. If you are manifesting an SP, if you are manifesting whatever else that you can't fully focus just for a few seconds and feel it real, don't worry, it comes with repetition also. So just because you can't get it right away doesn't mean anything. You keep going and you keep persisting in your either imaginal act or your affirmation or whatever you're doing. With persistence, the vividness of it and the reality feeling of it comes. So at some point, I experienced it in my mind, literally feeling this USB key that I was wiping with this white tissue and seeing it vividly, and it was just, I was just fully concentrated on it. I was not imagining anything else because I don't care where I found it as long as I find my thing. And this goes also for everything else that you're manifesting. If you want your SP, it doesn't matter what they are wearing. It doesn't matter which room you are in. Focus on what you actually want to manifest. So I opened my eyes and this event started. We were just there listening. And at some point I think to myself, I need a hair elastic to gather my hair because I don't know why, because I just thought that. I put my hand in that bag that I had with me that day and I felt something flat and something I didn't understand what it could be. I take it off. It was that USB key, which it shouldn't have been in that bag because now I have a good explanation why it shouldn't have been in this bag, but it appeared in that bag and I still till this day don't know how it happened. This bag that I had with me, it was a small backpack that I had with me that day that I had not used for, I think, 3 months before we started collecting these documents. So all this time that I had been working with these documents, the USB key, going back and forth to and from this office, this bag had been, again, washed and put in my wardrobe with my clothes because I had an outdoor event months before that I had used this backpack at. Then I had just come home, washed it and put it in my wardrobe. In the meantime, I had also moved to this apartment where I was in, and I had not used this backpack at all. Like it had not come out of my wardrobe from months before till that day. How on earth did this USB key appeared in that bag, I have no idea. The only human reason I could think of is that if I had taken the USB key out of the red bag and went to the wardrobe and put it in that backpack while it was in my wardrobe, but it just makes no sense. Even on autopilot, why would I have done this? I don't know. I don't remember anything like that. I don't remember. All I remember is that I put the USB key in that other red purse that I had with me that day. So again, this to show you that when you manifest something, it will manifest, even though it seems that like it can't, it's gone. Or you have an SP that doesn't want to conform, or you want an amount of money that you have no idea how to make, or the doctor has told you that there's nothing to do with your health, it is the way it is, or you just can't lose weight, or whatever it is you are manifesting. Again, another proof to you to just do the work. Just focus on what you are doing, and it's not your job how it appears. Somehow it has to, just because you impress it on your subconscious mind, which is what I did. The first one with affirmations. The second one, I sort of started out with affirmations, but it was that visualization that manifested it because I felt it real. Like I experienced it. And this is why I always say, like, you need to experience it in your mind. It's not just about to do the technique. And that is why I not often, suggest to concentrate on what you are doing. It has an incredible power when you are focusing on it. So I really hope that this was inspiring for you and encouraging. Something that I need to mention in this video is when, for example, I have manifested so many things that I've lost, a lot of other things, like other jewelry and stuff like that. When I lose something, at first, like when I notice that this thing is gone, I start looking around. But as soon as I realize what I'm doing is I stop. I stop looking for the thing that I have lost, because if I'm manifesting it, having it back, I can't look for it, because these two contradict each other. These two are two contradicting states. So, instead, what I go in imagination. How many times have I not repeated this in a video? It applies also if you are manifesting anything else. When you are trying to do something in the physical, in the 3D, to make it happen, you are in the opposing state. It is opposing your manifestation. And this is why you don't do stuff in the 3D. All you do is you go in your imagination, and your mind will make you do what is necessary to do if you have to do something to have your manifestation. Don't do stuff in the 3D to make it happen. You just imagine, and everything follows. So this is a very important thing to remember. Whether you are manifesting something that you have lost, whether you are manifesting an SP or money or whatever, passing exams, if you are forcing the 3D actions to make it happen, just know that you're in the opposing state. So you live your 3D life the way you do, but your states are what manifest, regardless of what you're doing in the 3D. But again, if you are forcing the 3D, taking action in the 3D with the intention of making it happen, helping your manifestation, it's like you're helping God. And when you think of it like that, it's ridiculous. You can't possibly, in your human form, in your limited human form, help the infinite intelligence that knows everything a lot better, to put it very mildly, than you do, than we do. So therefore, don't put yourself in an opposing state. Go in your imagination and experience the reality of your desire. And that is literally all there is to manifestation. And everything manifests in the same way. just like I manifested these things. So keep it simple and keep it focused. That is all you need to do. So that was it for today. I really hope you enjoyed it. And if you need any additional help with your manifestations, I do offer one-on-one coaching. The link is always in the description box below, and see you in the next video.